thanks for joining me. We are going to, those tomatoes that I bought the other day, I am going to head and work on some of them tonight. I just got off work, and I'm going to start out with the least time consuming recipe that I'm going to do, and that is going to be canning salsa. I have got the recipe for salsa that I have written down in my notebook that I keep favorite recipes, and this one is a large recipe. It makes 12 pints or 7 quarts, and I'm not so sure. This is one. I'll lower you down in just a minute, but I'm working on one box of the 3 boxes of tomatoes that I got, and then the recipe that I have written down is pretty much the same thing that is out of the Ball Complete Book of Home Preservation. This is a great book if you don't have one and you're interested in learning how to can. If you're a beginner, or I guess even if you're, a pro at it, this has got some very good ideas and recipes for canning, and they're all approved. So I'm going to take this, the one out of this one is called the fresh vegetable salsa. They have some other salsa recipes in here too. They've got a peach salsa that I really want to try making. But this is just the fresh vegetable salsa, and this one makes 5 pints, whereas this one makes 12 pints. So I don't know how much tomatoes I'm going to end up with, so I may have to, I'm going to have to do some math, some arithmetic on my ingredients. So I'm going to start out, here's my tomatoes, that's one box. Okay, I have got this handy dandy tomato core that I got from Amazon. It came in a 2-pack, and I discovered this on the YouTube channel, That 1870s Homestead. I love Rachel and her videos, and she was using one of these, if I can get it focused, cores to core her tomatoes. So I got me one, and I think this will be a game changer and time saver. I am not, and don't come at me, I'm not going to peel my tomatoes. I'm just going to end up, I'm going to core them, I'm going to core them, quarter them, and then I'm going to put them in my blender and pulse them to get a chunky state, and then they're going to go into my electric roaster. Let me go ahead and get it turned on. So that's where we are. So let's see how this, oh my gosh, I love it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on, come on. Anyway, that's the core. That's what it looks like on the inside. I love that. That's awesome. I'm going to get the lid off my compost bowl. And then I'm just going to slice off this top end, because it's usually always brown. And that's going to go in my compost. Then I'm just going to do a rough quarter, fifth, whatever. And then I'm going to pop it into my blender. I use a Ninja blender, the kitchen system. I really like it. It comes with a food processor and the blender, and I use this a lot. I think I got this one from Kohl's. They had it on sale at one point, and so while it was on sale, I jumped on it, and I really, really like it. This one has got some black spots in it. I'm just going to take this core and try to lift some of these out. Ooh, yeah, it's got a bad spot in it. Trim that. See? Don't worry, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to trim around it. Alright, that one had some pretty good bad spots on it, but I trimmed around the good and got the good chunks out. I'm going to take you along. I'm not going to bore you with me sitting here doing this to all the tomatoes. But I'm going to take you to my first blender full and show you what I do from there. Y'all, I love this tomato core. How great is that? And then if it's a real deep core, you can still keep going in there and just scraping it out. Merry Christmas to me. Okay, got that on there. Let me see if I think you can kind of see it. What I'm going to do, put the lid on. And then I'm just going to pulse. Hold on, it's coming on. Chop. Sitting here bragging about this and I can't get it. Come on. Oh, please. I didn't have the lid on good, is why I wouldn't be doing anything. Okay, so we're going to pulse this. I don't want this totally obliterated. I want it chunky. Like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I got me another bowl, my big bowls that I got at a trade show, and I'm going to pour it in here. The reason why I'm not pouring it directly into my roaster pan is because I need to measure how many cups I've got. There was a big chunk that didn't get all. I need to know how many cups I'm going to be working with in tomatoes, so I'll make sure that I follow the correct recipe. Okay, so we will continue on this adventure. And I'll probably just do I need room. I need room, people. Okay. I'll probably just fast forward to me doing some of this chopping, and then once I get the chopping all done and the coring and peeling, I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to do one more little pitcher left. What I've done so far, so I've ground up the tomatoes, chopped them up, pulsed them, and I measured out. I had 1 tub full of crushed tomatoes, and then I measured them out in my roaster, and so far I'm at 14 cups. So I'm looking at my recipes. I have one that makes a 20 cup recipe, and then I have one that makes a 7 cup recipe. So this is my thinking. I think the math would be a lot easier if I do the one out of the Canon book. that is a 7-cup recipe because I've got 14. If I can get another 14, then I know I can quadruple the other ingredients. Make sense? I hope so, because I really had to sit here and think about that for a little bit. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dice these up and see where we're at in another 14 cups. Poured out, and we'll go to measuring. Okay, let's see where we're at. Got 14 already in there, so I need another 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll be a little bit short. 11. 12. So I need to get 2 more cups. So let me, probably be another big tomato. Let me see, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my 28 cups, yeah, 28 cups of my chopped up tomatoes in the roaster. And I'm going to turn it up to about 350 to get that heated up. Now, the recipe calls for 2 cups of chopped onions. I'm quadrupling the recipe, so I need 8 cups of chopped onions. I'm doing it the same way that I did the tomatoes. I'm just cubing them up, putting them in the blender and pulsing them. And they're starting to get to my eyes. I was hoping these weren't. These are Vidalias. I've already chopped up 1, 2. I've chopped up 3. This is 4 and 5. I'm going to chop these up and see where we are on our cups. Okay. Woo! These onions got to me. Eyes are burning. So I need 8 cups of onions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need 3 more cups. I'm not very good at eyeballing, obviously. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, whew, my eyes. Where's my spokes? I had to get a paper towel, keep down my eyes. Okay, I need 3 more cups. 1, 2, I think I got it. 3. All right. Give this a stir. It's already sizzling. Turn it down some. Okay, now we're going to do our peppers. Done the same way. We're going to cut them up in chunks and put them in the blender. Okay, I need, recipe calls for 1 cup of bell peppers, and so I got to do 4 cups. Let me get my, I'm not going to rinse this out. It's still got some onion chunks and pieces in here, and we're just going to Let it fly. It ain't gonna hurt a thing. Ooh, this one isn't that good. It's got some mold in the bottom and mold around. Let's try. I like these purple ones that I got the other day. That one looks good. And I'm just cutting around the core of it. And I'll cut off the good part of the top. Uh-oh. Gotta put my blade in here. Okay. Do a green one. Need 4 cups. Let's see if I can do a better job at eyeballing this. I made some salsa, I may have said that a month or so ago, and I made 7, I think it was 7, let me look at my paper, what was it? I think it ended up making 10 pints, or 9 pints, but anyway, we've already gone through 2, and it's only been about a month, so I wanted to get some more of this canned up. Because we do like salsa. And we like it not very hot. I've said this on other videos that we're not big heat people. We like some warmth, but we don't want it hot where we're having to guzzle water to try to put our mouths out from being on fire. So we do like a little bit of heat, but not hot. This one's got a bad spot. Cut it out. I try to cut it where there's no seeds, but if a seed or 2 gets in, that's fine. I'm a no frills cook. I'm not perfect by no means, but you know what? If some seeds, some bell pepper seeds happen to get into this, it is okay. I'm not entering this to win a prize on culinary skills. This one's got a bad spot too on the edge. Now sometimes I'm talking to myself like I just did, and I know it probably comes off as a mumble on the videos, and I don't mean it. I'm consciously trying to not do that. But if you're not videoing and you're cooking, you tend to talk to yourself, so I'm not all the way used to the video camera being set up. Okay, I am thinking we're getting close to 4 cups. Let's see how my eyeballing did this time. Okay. Where is it? I'm going to pulse these up. Now these produced a lot of juice. A lot of juice. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain the juice in a bowl, because salsa all this, it's real juicy anyway, and you don't want really juicy or watery salsa. So I am going to go ahead and strain these a little bit. And get some of this pepper juice out. I'm going to help it along by mashing it in. Oh, and I don't know if I got 4 cups or not. See, that's how much juice I got out of that. And I don't want that in my salsa. Okay. I'm measuring. Let's see how many we got. 1, 2, not even half. So we got 2. Y'all just wait. I'm going to blow your mind one day, and I am going to have it spot on. Where's my cutter? There it is. I guess I'm probably going to take the rest of these. I'm glad I bought them. Ooh. Ooh, that's slimy. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't know that I want to use that one. It's slimy. So that tells me that's not a very healthy bell pepper. This one's kind of soft too. Oh no. Okay. I want this gooky stuff that's come out of it on my cutting board. This one's firm. Oh yeah, that one before it kind of had a vinegary smell. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, I'm gonna do this up. Wrong way. Go. Got some big ones in there. Okay, so that was 2 cups that I got in. That's 3 cups. Y'all, it's all good. Because this is why you do this. I've had extra bell peppers and I've chopped them up and froze them. So, that's about a cup. I'm just going to throw those in there. Pot's getting hot, so they'll defrost rather good. Okay, bell peppers are done. Stir these in. I'm going to go off the recipe. I was stirring those in, and it don't look like it's enough pepper, so I'm just going to put the rest of this bag that I have frozen in it. It's probably another cup. I'm going to do 5 cups of bell peppers. That's not going to mess with the chemistry of the canning at all. Okay, that looks better. Okay, throw that one away. All right, next we did the onions, the green bell peppers, jalapeno peppers. It says 8 jalapeno peppers. 8 times 4 is 32 jalapeno peppers. I'm not doing 32 jalapeno peppers. I don't have 32 jalapeno peppers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, which is close. Okay. Now I will be let's try this. I'm gonna try my core thing and see if that just scrapes the ribs and seeds. Y'all, it's an all-in-one tool. Yeah. Y'all need to get that. This little thing is chef kiss. Okay. Put the blade back in. Yeah, this is awesome. Awesome. Now I'm not gonna completely just put all green jalapeno in there. Now I will on some leave some seeds, leave some ribs. I mean, we're not babies. Okay, we are babies, but we do like a little heat. This is an awesome tool. These in my compost pile and keep my dog from sniffing all around it. That was me mumbling to myself. Did you hear me? I said, I'm going to put these jalapenos in my compost. Well, I don't know if I should or not. Can you put jalapenos in your compost? Or will that, like, keep wormies away and stuff that you won't? If you know, if you know the answer to that, let me know in the comments. I'll hang on to them until I do some research or find out from you guys. I mean, because what I'm going to be putting in there is going to be the hot stuff. So, I'm going to give it a little shameless plug. Well, it's not really a plug. I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that. But I love this knife. My son gave this to me a couple of years ago for Christmas. It's a shun. I had never heard of a shun then, but now I have. And it is the best knife ever. It stays sharp. I've had to sharpen it a couple of times, but it's the best one that I own. It's a shun. S-H-U-N. And this just says it's a DM0728. Oh, it's a classic Nakiri, 6.5. But that's a very good one. I wish I had a whole set of them, but I think they cost a mighty dollar. But by far, I mean, and people, like, when we have family gatherings and stuff and we're all in the kitchen cooking, I mean, everybody's like, I love this knife. Let me see, I think I've got, or I had some minced garlic. Hold on. Yeah. I've got this minced garlic that I need to use. So I'm going to put this in. Let's hope please. Okay, let's see, you got 3 cloves, 3 times 4 is 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. I just eyeballed it. I think a teaspoon, a full heavy-duty teaspoon would be about 2 cloves. Okay. We got the garlic in. The next step is tomato paste. Now, the recipe calls for 1 can, which is 5.5 ounces of tomato paste. I'm just going to put 2 7-ounce cans. Let's see if you can, there we go. These are from Azure Standard. They're the 100% organic tomato paste, no salt added. And the reason why I'm not putting the full amount is because I don't like a whole lot of tomato paste in the salsa. It helps to thicken it up some, but I really like the freshness. It's almost like I like a pico de gallo like taste to it, which I know this isn't true pico de gallo, but this kind of gives it a little cookie taste. So that's why I don't. I do it for a little bit of richness of tomato flavor and for a little bit of the thickening properties. But that's it. So I'm not putting in the full amount of tomato paste. And it's okay. If you like that tomato taste, that cooked tomato taste, you add all of it in there. This is, adapt your recipe some to your taste. It's perfectly fine. Let me go over here to... You just don't want to get away from canning guidelines, because I am going to water bath can these. Tomato products are, of course, are naturally acidic. And 9 out of 10 times you can safely water bath can acidic foods, and tomatoes are a high acidic food. But it's always best to add some more acidity to it if you are going to water bath can it. So with this, I would anyway, but the recipe calls for 3/4 cup of white vinegar. And what I'm going to use, I don't know that I've got enough. Let me do the calculations on how much I need. Okay, I'll need 4 cups of either white vinegar or lemon juice. You can switch these out. From what I've read and from what I understand is you can switch out lemon juice for white vinegar. But if the recipe calls for lemon juice, you can't sub white vinegar. So you can sub lemon juice for white vinegar, but you cannot sub lemon juice for white vinegar or any vinegar, if that makes sense. And I don't like using this. I've got some organic lemon juice, but I want to get this out. So this is just that green, it's the Walmart brand lemon juice. And so I'm going to need 3 cups of this. And I'll move you around. One, 2, 3, and a shot for good measure. Okay, let me stir all this up. Well, I just made a big old messy pie. see if to go onion in here. Take that out. Alright, I'm going to kick up the heat. We're going to bring this up to a boil. And we're going to bring it up to a rolling boil over medium-high heat, stirring constantly. Reduce heat and boil gently about 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up. I'm cranking all the way up. I'm going to bring this up to a boil. And then when it comes to a boil, I will turn it down and we're just going to simmer it for about 30 minutes. So I will be back when we're at that point. I got a mess to clean up. I forgot one thing, guys, before I get it going real good is cumin. So I need about 2 tablespoons of cumin. Okay, now we're going to let it come to a rolling boil. Okay, friends, I'm back. This has been simmering for about 30 minutes, and I think we're ready to jar it up. I'm going to show you what I do, because I don't like really soupy salsa. So what I'm going to do is I like to jar the water out of this. It's salsa water, and put it in quart jars, and I'll can it also. And what I do is I use this when I'm making rice to have like a Spanish rice. I'll cook the rice in the salsa water, and then I'll also add it to like taco soup. You know, if you need some more liquid in your taco soup, I'll put that in there. There's, you know, different things that you can use the salsa water for, so I don't want to just discard it. So I will be putting these in quart-sized jars so that I can use it in the future. And so I'm going to put my strainer over my jar funnel, and I'm going to start funneling this in, and so that I will catch the juice in my quart jars. This also I'm going to can in pint jars. I've got my, on the stove, I've got my water bath canner and my pressure canner going heating up with water. I'm going to use both of them to water bath can in, because I don't have 2 water bath canners. I'm going to use my pressure canner for the boiling water. Okay, I'm going to move this over my pint jar and fill it up, and it needs a little bit more. Oops, I didn't put my, I think it needs that much. But this is the process I go through. I'm going to drain the juice into a quart jar until I get enough. And then I put the salsa in a pint jar. And you want to leave a 1/2 inch headspace. I overfilled that one. I'm just going to put it in another jar. I've got my jars in the oven on 170 degrees. And I'm just going to let those stay in there and get warm, and then I'll pull out a few at a time. We will continue on the process until I get this done. Now don't forget, save your salsa water. It's delicious. My favorite thing to do is cook it in rice. So I'll be back with you in just a second when I get all this going. Okay, just to show you guys what I do when I get the jars filled is I have a paper towel. I've got a little thing of vinegar, and I like to wipe the rims off with the vinegar. Make sure that those are squeaky clean. And then I'm going to get my lids. I have been using this Denali, if it focuses, Denali canning lids. I don't think it's cool. Anyway, I ordered them online. I'm not, affiliated with them or anything, but I really like them. This is about my third batch of canning with them, and I did have one lid that failed, but I think it had like a big hump, a gooed up place right here on the rim, and I don't know if it did that during canning or what it was, if it was just a fluke, but I've only had one out of probably 3 canners full, and they're very reasonable priced. And then I'm just going to put my ring on it. I'm going to go ahead and set these in the canner. Use my jar lifter now, it's hot. But as I'm doing this, I will jar them up, put the lid on it, screw the ring on, finger tight, and drop them into the hot water, because I don't want my jars cooling off too much so there's not any shock hitting that hot water. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Those first 2 I put in there, I did not debubble them, and you have to debubble them or it could cause a jar to explode. So make sure you get wooden, plastic, something just to go through and get all those bubbles popped into the top. And a note, there's some things I forgot to tell you. The recipe did not have salt on there, so I put a couple, 2-3 tablespoons of salt in it for flavor. And that was all I did additionally for the flavor. Okay, I'm going to carry on. Okay, this is a messy process. I've got 9 pints in my water bath canner. I just put it in, turn the heat up on high. We're going to let that come to a boil, and for pints, I'm going to water bath it for 20 minutes. So when it comes to a full boil, I'll start timing it then. Okay, friends, I am back. I ended up with, hold on, let me take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 pints of salsa, and 4 quarts and 1 pint of the juice. So I've got my water bath canner going. It's at a full rolling boil. I got about 5-6 more minutes on that. I'm waiting on my second pot to come to a full rolling boil. I'm cleaning the lids of my sauce juice. So let's see, I got 14 pints, and I think that, wasn't it, let's see, $1.99. So I started out with 28 cups of tomatoes. So I guess, I wonder if that's a good way to judge it. You half it. You got 28 cups of tomatoes would make 14 pints. I'll have to try that next time and see if that works out right. I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah. 28 cups of tomatoes made 14 pints. And then plus all this juice left over. Okay, I'm going to lid and ring these up. box. Yeah, I would check these Denali. It's D-E-N-A-L-I, Denali canning lids. I thought it was a fair price for them. And then they just mail them to you. And you stay stocked up. Instead of having to go around trying to find lids. I'm not affiliated or anything. Hey, but Denali, if you want to let me be an affiliate, hit me up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug back in my roaster pan. I'm going to keep some heat on it. And just set them in here to kind of keep them warm before they get to take their hot bath. Had some spillage over it. I'm just kind of wiping that up. But you can clean them when they get out of the canner, but I've got my vinegar sitting here. I'll go ahead and just get my wipe down. Okay, so pint jars are 20 minutes. And since I've got a quart of juice, I'll probably do these 25-30 minutes. Water bath canning. I'm not going to have this up too high so I don't bust the bottoms of it. Got it around 250. Just to kind of keep them a little bit warm. Okay, I'm about to get the first batch out, and I'm just going to show you this. This is a jar that my mother-in-law gave me, a box of jars that was her mother's, which is my husband's grandmother. This is an old one. It says Crown Mason. And I had put my stuff in here, and I didn't notice it when I was cleaning it, but it's got a nick somewhere, oh, right here. It's got like a little nick right here, so when I was wiping the rim down with vinegar, I found it. So I don't want to use this for canning, but it's such an awesome little jar. So I'm going to clean this up and I'll use it for storage. I like to put, like, let's see. Hang on. Like, this is my baking powder. It's in a jar that had a chip on it, and I like to either use these like plastic lids or a canning lid, you know, a used one that I've already used, clean it up and put it on there, and use it for storage. So that is what I'll be doing with this precious little Crown Mason jar. Okay, let's get these babies out. Be cooling down. Okay guys, got all my pint jars out. I just put in my quart jars of water, salsa water, and it's got another about 20 minutes to go. So, thank you for joining me today. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to my channel. That would help me out tremendously. And I have got, this took, what I did took about 2.5 hours to process from beginning to end. I've still got, in 20 minutes it'll be 2.5 hours, and so this has got about 20 minutes left. So 2.5 hours to process all this. I've got so many more tomatoes to process, and I'll bring you along for that. Probably tomorrow night I am either going to do spaghetti sauce with meat or chili with meat. Go ahead and you have to let your tomatoes roast and cook down for a long time. So I'll probably start that tomorrow night.
and let it go all night, and I'll bring you along with that leg of it. So anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.